Yo, it's Mark from Suicide Silence letting you know that Mange is playing Blight Night 2 in Worcester, Mass with Abscess Pool.
What's up, guys? Ghostboy here with the story time. I don't think I've done a story time since the Uncle Travis days, and we all know how long ago that was. This is actually a celebratory video because June 19th is the 2-year anniversary when I did my last day of high school. And then July 9th, I think, somewhere around there, is going to be the 2-year anniversary I graduated, because graduation was in July for some reason. And yeah. So for a celebratory video, I figured I'd tell you all a story of what was the best show I've ever played until the Tactosa show happened. Now, this was definitely the best show I played last year, and it was actually the first actual show I played with Mange. And Kylie's birthday show, that doesn't count at all. And that show is Blight Night 2. In Worcester, Mass, without Abscess Pool because they couldn't play. Yeah. But before we get into the actual show itself, I just want to go over some things that almost made me not want to play the show. To be honest, so the day before the show happened, so let me tell you this. This was at Ralph's Rock Diner in Worcester, Massachusetts. And little did I know, Ralph's Rock Diner is a 21 and over venue unless the event is outside. And I guess the event was originally outside. But then I think there was a chance of rain that day. So they decided to move everything inside. And most of the dudes in Abscess Pool are underaged. So I think I don't know if they got kicked off or if they were just like, all right, this isn't going to work. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, damn. And they were the only band I knew on the lineup. So I'm like, damn, do I really want to play this anymore? Because at the time I was like, all right, I do not want to play 21 and over shows. Because I just don't. I can't stand age restrictions at shows. And I'm going to have to leave after our set because, well, that's how it works. We'll get to that later. Yeah. But we ended up playing the show. I'm glad we did. It was one of the best shows I ever played. So, the day after. So, Coyote stayed at our house. At the time, it was just me, Matt, and Coyote. And actually, Jerry, our actual vocalist, lives in California. So he wasn't able to fly down for this show, which is kind of weird because he flew down for the Coyote's birthday show, which was literally a week before. And we got our friend Ben, who lives like in the area of Massachusetts, like to do vocals. And he killed it. I don't think he knew any of the songs, but he killed it. So Coyote comes to our house the night before, stays the night, and then he carpools with us. Obviously, we got all the shit. We're on our way to Worcester. About to go to Worcester. It was like 3-hour ride. So, of course, we had to, leave a little early, make sure. And then we also had to check into a hotel. So, the ride there, 3 hours, we had to make a stop because you can't go 3 hours without draining your cock or your anus. You got to do something. And so we get to the place, right? And we've never been to... Oh, wait. So my mom and my aunt actually managed to attend the show. So we all went to some burger joint, which was really good burgers. I really liked it. And then me, Matt, and Coyote, we pull up to the venue. We unload everything. So the rain warning is completely abolished. It's back to sunny, so we decided to have the show outdoors, so now it's all ages. So we unload everything. we take everything out. Okay, so outdoors is the parking lot, like in the entrance and stuff. So we unload everything. We just put stuff down, and Matt and Coyote go to check into the hotel. All the bands are setting up their merch tables and all that, and I'm just waiting. Next thing you know, starts pouring rain. And no, there was all like guitar like cabs and amps. I'm surprised nothing went up in flames, and thank God nothing went up in flames. So we all had to rush everything upstairs. That's where the shows happen at Rouse Rock, is in the upstairs. And the dude was who was doing door looked just like Ivan Moody. And so he told me, he's like, and a lot of people who were underage, came to the show because they heard it was all ages. And so, obviously, since it's a 21 and over venue, he had to make sure that these people were 21 and over. And the ones that weren't, they couldn't attend. So they just, it sucked. I mean, I could because I was in the band. And so, he had to mark my hands to make sure I was underage. And so, okay, so we bring everything upstairs. Mark, the promoter, and the guy who booked the show in the first place, he tells me that, like, I have to stay at our merch table the whole time. And then after we play our set, I just leave. And we didn't have a merch table, so I didn't have to do any of that shit. And I don't think Mark, like, gave a shit. I think he was just like, all right, that's just the rules of the place, whatever. Which is kind of weird, because that dude who was doing door, he came upstairs a couple times, and he saw me. He just didn't say shit. But yeah. And, alright, what happened after that? So Coyote and Matt come. First band goes on. So, okay. So the flyer says 10, like, artists, right? Or is it 12? Or 11, whatever. I'll have to look at the flyer again, but 7 bands play in total. First band is called Shortest Life. They're a hardcore band. Really good. I think they're the only band I got footage of here on YouTube. So, it's the light. And, they play. They were pretty sick. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this lineup there was all kinds of fucking, like, music, all kinds of metal. You had hardcore, you had black metal, deathcore, punk. So, given all the, genres you had, there was also all forms of moshing. There was hardcore dancing, two-stepping, push pitting, circle pitting, everything. It was an absolute blast. And so the second band was Necrolent, which, oh, by the way, 3 of these bands are Marks. So, yeah. Second band was Necrolent. They're like a black metal, like thrash type band. They were really good. Lots of push pitting, circle pitting, and all that. Worcester does not fuck around. I'll tell you that much. And they were awesome. What else happens? I'm trying to think when I got water. Something like that. I don't know. But I'll just get to the third band, which is The Culling. Straightforward death metal band. Really good shit. Really cool guys. All the bands there were super cool. And I don't remember if there was any moshing for them. I don't know. My memory sucks with that. But, yeah. Next band, Busted Lip. Another one of Mark's bands. They're like a punk band. Yeah, something like that. And what's interesting is that they were probably my favorite set of the night. However, music-wise, they were probably my least favorite. I had a lot of fun. I was, in the pit quite a bit. Just having a good time. Just upbeat as fuck. Just great vibe all around. And then I'm trying to think when get this. Anyone who was under 21 couldn't go downstairs, or if they went downstairs, they can't go back up. So that was stupid. So I couldn't even. And there was also a bar in the upstairs. Nobody was working it, So I couldn't even get something to drink. I had to rely on, like, Matt or Coyote to get me a drink. And so Matt went to give me a water. Little did I know it was free. So I could have just made him go, you know, a couple times. I'm like, alright, I don't want him to spend too much money on me, you know? So that's my mom's job. Nah, it's terrible. Alright, so... Fuck. 5th band. Harvest Manipulation. Yet another one of Mark's bands. That's the last of his bands. Another black metal band. You know, another set of moshing. Another set of push pitting, circle pitting, and all that shit. And they do this... At one point, they did... Actually, I think this might have been the last song of their set. They did this terrible cover of Killing in the Name. I don't even want to get into it. Well, I'm not going to. Alright. Second to last band. Sophisticated Adult. I could be wrong. I think they're actually a pretty big band, I guess, within, like, the New England scene. Well, they're from New Hampshire. Maybe that's in New England? I don't know. I'm not really good with geographics or whatever. But yeah, Sophisticated Adult plays. They're like Every Time I Die, but much better than Every Time I Die. But with less melodies, and I think they go a little harder too. And you know, they play their set. Everyone's, you know, crowd killing motherfuckers. My mom and my aunt come up because, you know, we're going on last. Yeah, we headlined. Yep. And, yeah, that's that. And, okay. Actually, I should have told this at the beginning of the video, but whatever. One of our former friends, Omar, he made a pretty disturbing threat, to say the least. Okay, so let me tell you a little something about Omar. He was... I think the last vocalist of Mange before Jerry came in. And Coyote, like, and he became like a drug addict. And so Coyote kind of like, he became a drug addict and like didn't like try and do anything about it. So Coyote kind of just like cut him out, and he also trashed like his house, I think, a little bit. Or he trashed Coyote's at the time girlfriend's house. And so, you know, there was they were on bad terms for a little while. Then eventually, he just becomes a psychopath. And so, I think it was the night before the show, or the night before that. He sent this voicemail to Matt and Coyote, not to me, because I guess him and I were still on good terms. I thought, you know, he was just, you know, an addict and needed to seek help. It was more than that. He sent a message to them saying stuff like, yo, I'm going to show up tomorrow, and I'm not going to be held responsible for what I do. And I know Coyote booked that just to fuck with me. That's all I remember. So, we hired this group of people called the Musashi Clan. Mange and the Musashi Clan. The greatest crossover in history. Well, kinda. Ghost Boy and Rico takes #1. But, yes. We hired them because they're a bunch of like big dudes, like, yeah, something like that. And we hire them in case Omar. Now here's the thing with Omar, he's a pretty tall, like pretty scrawny, like kind of like goth looking motherfucker in a way. But oh my god, I remember the first ever main show. He was like a villain bassist for that show. I've never seen so much retard strength in the pit before. That was... He's a terrifying person when it comes to moshing. So, no, God knows what could have happened if he showed up. He didn't show up, thankfully. And so we literally hired, I think it was like 3 or 4 guys in the clan. We hired them to protect us. We hired them as bodyguards, basically. Ben, actually, who did vocals for us that night, was one of them. So that was cool. And I think we got them, I think, to like work the merch table. Oh, it wasn't even a table. They just sat at a bench, and we had a box full of merch, and that's how we sold it. No table, just a bench and a box. And yeah. And all right, what happened next? Oh, we go on. All right. So, right before we're like about to go on, the drummer from Shortest Life, like, he thought I was using some of his equipment. He was right to an extent. But it's like, he said I was oh my god. As a drummer, I should know this. What the hell's that thing you use for a hi-hat to keep the two cymbals like apart? The clutch. That's what it's called. He said I was using his clutch. And I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, yeah, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I don't think I was using his, but I don't think I was using mine either. That whole night was really weird within, like, fucking cymbal things. God, I can't fucking think correctly. But I was also using his throne. He said he was gonna leave in a bit, so I guess he wasn't gonna stay for our set originally, but it kind of had to because I was using his throne. I don't know, it's weird, but yeah, he stayed for our set. I don't know if he liked it, maybe he did, but he felt bad for the mistake about the clutch. So I feel bad for him. I mean, that must have been embarrassing. He was kind of an ass about it, but whatever. Oh, but we did have to go on a little late. Whatever. We have a pretty short set. We played everything. And it said on the flyer, like, I think come support the traveling bands. So that'd be us, Pool, who didn't play, and Sophisticated Adult. Wow. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Knocked Loose show. Those pits are crazy. And that was like this. Like, the pit was a war zone. Worcester kids do not fuck around. They are supportive as hell to traveling bands. Of course, from what you've seen. No one stood still. And we did 2 covers. Welcome to Sludge City, which is on the demo. The annotation of an autopsy song. And Counting Worms, everyone knows that one from Knocked Loose. And we got a stage flood during both of them. Those of you that don't know what a stage flood is, a stage flood is when, like, attendees come onto the stage and, like, stuff like that, and they sing along to stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen that before if you've been to, like, a small show, or if any of you have saw Vanna on any of their, like, farewell tour shows, then you've definitely seen that before. And yeah. So yeah, that happens. I remember one of the guitarists from Shortest Life was, like, standing by the side. And after we do our set, I get off and he's like, yo, that was sick, man. That cover of Counting Worms, I did not see that coming. That was pretty based. And so, and like I said before, since I was under 21, I had to leave right after our set. Excuse me. So I did just that. I got out. I mean, I did grab some stuff, of course. But yeah, I guess the bright side is I didn't have to, take as much equipment, right? Or actually, maybe I did. But I was sweating. Bullets is an understatement. I was sweating missiles. Dude, it was so hot. Especially given all the moshing and all the people that were there. I love Worcester. And it was still hot as fuck outside. It was still raining, too. So I had to ask Matt, yo, unlock the car. Actually, no, I didn't. I tried texting it to him, but he was, doing stuff. And yeah. So, we pack everything up. We go to Hooters afterwards. Pretty based for a mange meal. And I got the wings. The wings were kind of underwhelming. But whatever. I got like 3 Pepsis, too. That's how thirsty I was. The cups, they're pretty big cups. And Coyote got like 5 Mountain Dews. We were so thirsty after the show, man. It's not even funny. And Hooters. That was my first time at Hooters. And of course the waitresses were, yeah. Well, that wasn't a good reputation, but whatever. All right, so after Hooters, we go to the hotel, and forgot to mention this before. before Matt and Coyote left to come to the show, I think Matt turned on the air so it can be nice and cool when we get back. Guess what? We get to the hotel, it's a sauna. So we're trying to figure out what the hell happened. And also, this hotel was pretty shitty as well. Like, it's... I don't know. The neighborhood I hear is, like, not... I don't even think... Actually, was this even in Worcester? I don't know if this was the same town. Ralph's Rock was in Worcester. But I don't know if this hotel that we checked in was in Worcester. It was in Mass. I can tell you that much. But, and the bathtub had, like, cigarette stains set in it. So that was disgusting. And, well, that's about it. And the place was also really cramped. Because it was a really small room. And, so we got we brought, what the hell's it called? An air mattress. We brought an air mattress so one of us can sleep on that. Man. It was a nightmare trying to sleep. But it was still a really good night, you know. We're all just, watching Fresh Prince, just fucking talking about memes and shit. Coyote and Matt are doing shots of Modelo. And eventually we all try to go to bed. Okay. Now this is the part. This is some funny shit right here. So you guys know how air mattresses on one side they're really fuzzy, on the other they're just like, rubber type shit. And I was really hot. And I'm a fat dude, so fat guys, when they're hot, they sweat. I lay down, but I put... I don't know why the hell I did this. I put it rubber side facing up, fuzzy side down, obviously. And I lay down without my shirt on. And no, this is the rubber side. I'm a fat guy, covered in sweat. I get up, and guess what happens? The air mattress gets up with me. Sticks to my back like a fucking backpack. That's how hot it was. So yeah, we try our best to sleep. We do. Then we wake up. Actually, no. Wait. So I think right before we all went to bed, Matt, opened a vent in the AC. And that seemingly cured everything because we all went to bed. When we woke up, we were freezing. Well, mainly because none of us had blankets and we were all shirtless because of how hot it was. And it's like, yep, this is the conclusion. It was hot because the vent was closed. Way to go, Matt. And Coyote. Whoever did it, I don't know. So the next morning comes. And this hotel had a 9:30 to 10 breakfast time type thing. Breakfast at 10 or 9 or something like that. Okay, for the sake of this video, we'll just say breakfast at 9:30. Shit. We get up around 8:30 and we get there at 9 and the breakfast is over. So that was cool. I literally just had vending machine snacks for breakfast. So it was a pretty good morning. Then what happens there? We go to a gas station, and I get a mange breakfast. I got some combos and a Baja Blast, because that's a mange meal right there. Especially after a long night playing a fucking fantastic show. Yeah, and so we take Coyote home, and then we go home, and that's it. That's the end of the story. Oh, real quick. I completely forgot about this until now. So, as I mentioned before, my mom and my aunt, they came. They really only stayed for us and sophisticated adult just to, for good measure. Because they never know when we go on. And they stood by the side. And, no, we're a... Mange is, a deathcore beatdown type band, or at the time they were more beatdown. At a beatdown show, you don't want to stand to the side if you want to avoid the pit, right? So, what I was told, I didn't see it because I was behind the kit. I couldn't really see much in front of me, aside from, like, what was directly in front of me. And they were, like, I think, in the back by the side, by the door, which was, like, right next to the stage. My aunt actually got knocked over. And my mom said it was fucking hilarious. So, like I said, didn't see it, behind the kit. But, yeah. I don't... Oh, boy. Big mistake. But my mom said it was funny, so it's worth it, right? Kill me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around through the whole story. Even though I'm sure none of you did. And I'm gonna... You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna play some footage of our set right at the end of this video. So, that's it, guys. Hope you liked it. Subscribe. Eat a bag of Cheetos. Mange. Peace.
Yeah.